With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Not all meals are created equal. For instance, breakfast has the spicy egg McMuffin for a limited time, and lunch doesn't. McDonald's breakfast comes first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This episode is brought to you by San Pellegrino Ciao, a new kind of flavored sparkling water. The kind made with real fruit juice, a pinch of Sicilian salt, and the sparkle of the Italian sun. With no added sugar and just 10 or less calories per can, enjoy. With love, from Italy. By San Pellegrino Ciao now.
Welcome back to YA, okay? It's Alyssa and Eric.
Hi, Alyssa, you're back. I'm so excited to have you back.
I'm so happy to be back. I miss my bookie friends.
Yeah.
We had Rory Powers on today,
Yeah.
and she has written some very good, very twisty-turny books.
Mhm.
And we talked about Kill Creatures today specifically, which is her most recent one. And Eric, you just read it.
Yeah. If you have also listened to the July 4th episode or the July 2nd, whenever it came out, that was when we were talking about our summer reads and the books that we want to read. I said Kill Creatures was like one of the ones that I'm like, I am absolutely going to be reading this. And I think I started like 2 days later, probably finished it even quicker after that. So
Amazing.
it's great. I managed to avoid plenty of spoilers the whole episode, while still asking the questions that I wanted to ask, which
Impressive.
there was more that I wanted to ask Rory, but I didn't, because I also didn't want to spoil it for you, Alyssa, because I'm telling you, it is like, if I had to say one book that I knew that I knew you had that read and you would connect with, I was like, Kill Creatures is it.
Kill Creatures. Okay. Awesome. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah.
We had so much fun talking to Rory, and I know you're going to love this conversation. She's really funny, and enjoy the episode.
Hey.
5 long years, our lives like magnetic fields. You are my universe. You are my universe, and I'm just a planet.
Hi, Rory.
Hi everyone. Thank
It's
you.
so great to meet you.
I know. I feel like I can't believe we
I'm such
haven't
a
actually
fan.
met before.
Because we're also friends we have a mutual friend, Jennifer Dugan, who has been on the show twice.
Oh.
And the last time she was on, I told her to immediately text you and say, hey, by the way, Rory has a new book coming out. Tell her I want her on. So,
And she did, so don't worry.
and I actually had, we had a 4th of July episode, because we didn't want to release like one of the episodes that we recorded, just because we didn't want to like kind of stick an author on 4th of July
Sure.
when nobody might listen to it. So it was just the three of us. It was like, what books are you looking forward to reading? And one of my choices was Kill Creatures, which I have
thank
since
you.
read and loved.
Thank you so
And
much.
I told Alyssa, I was like, I think this is very much your kind of book. And after having read it, Alyssa, I know for a fact it is. You're going to love it.
I fear it is. I fear it is. Rory, I'm in like one of the worst reading slumps I've had
Oh,
in
no.
years.
Oh, I'm
And
so sorry.
It's
Kill Creatures is
driving
going to
me
get you out.
crazy. I know. So
I don't
every
know.
time
Don't put that kind of pressure on me, man. Like,
Well, okay, so we've had this theory going back and forth of what book will break a reading slump, because I've always felt like a thriller does it, like something that's like mystery, that like kind of you need to know what's happening next, so like it's keeping you going. But Eric says that it is a romance for him.
I think it just depends on the reader, because like I don't know
And
that
the
a romance
mood,
would do it for me. Yeah, exactly.
There's sometimes when I'm like, no, I want like blood and guts. I want to see someone ruining their fucking lives.
Also,
That's
sometimes
what I
like
want.
it could be the best thriller in the world, but if it's not like under 200 pages, it's just not going to work for me.
Yeah.
So-
Oh my God. So true. Every time we do this podcast, I think of like another thing that I should try. I'm like, okay, maybe I should try like a book that's under 200 pages. That's a
You
good
should.
idea.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's one of the things that I think is great about Kill Creatures is it's a fast book. It's under 300 pages. I think it's
Listen,
like
it could be shorter. They listen, I get why they did it. They bumped the font size. You have to like you open that book and you're like, okay, this isn't large print, but it's like getting there.
Yeah, but it's getting there.
You read too, because you're like,
Yeah.
ooh, I'm reading so quick. I'm a fast reader now.
No, so true. That's the ego boost that I need right now is a large font so that I'm constantly flipping the pages and be like, reading slump who?
We got
Not
you.
me.
I'm a
Never been
slow
me.
reader. I think I read 100 pages of it like in 2 days, maybe at the most. It was probably
Yeah.
like a day and a half.
It's only I forget exactly, but it's only about like 55,000-ish words, which like for me anyway, that's much like my debut novel was around like 77, I want to say. And when I was writing this one, I was like, I wanted to be short, if only so that I'm done sooner.
Yeah.
It didn't end up working out that way, but that was the goal.
It never does.
And I
It's
I love a
just
short
makes the
book.
story go by faster. Doesn't make it easier for you. Tell the listeners, give everybody an idea of what it's about, because I've been like gushing over it and they're probably like, well, tell me what it's about already.
Kill Creatures is a young adult like psychological thriller. There's a little bit of horror in there. And it's about a girl named Nan. And last summer, all her best friends, all three of them went missing in the canyon near the town that she lives in. It's very sad. Everybody's very devastated. They've been gone a year. Everyone's like, they're dead. Like, this is over. But then the next summer, now in the book, one of them shows back up alive. Super great. Wonderful. Except Nan is like, that's really weird because I definitely remember killing you. So like, why are you here? What's going on?
Yeah.
Phrasing it like I definitely remember killing you is so you know what? I
Like,
did. When I think back on it, I'm sure I did.
I feel like I wrote that down in my
90%.
journal just to make sure that I would remember.
I kept souvenirs. I'm
I did.
90% sure.
She's like super normal about it. I don't know what the problem is.
But she comes
So
back.
it's less a who done it and more of a what is
How
the
did you
actual story.
Who undone it?
Who undone it? Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. That's crazy. And it's also, I was thinking recently about my boyfriend has a family member who like was kidnapped, disappeared, we don't know, like evaporated.
Oh my God.
In like the 90s, and it was in Ireland, and it was like a big deal in Ireland, and they recently excavated a whole house that they think the guy who did it lived in, and they found nothing. And I was like, oh my God, it's crazy when I think about like when people like disappear, at some point you just call it, like you do the burial and you're like, well, we have to find closure somehow. But can you imagine being that person's parent and then seeing them walk by? I'd be like, at this point, I sort of process what happened here, and
keep walking.
I don't know.
That's wild. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, how did this story come to you?
It was a lot of things. I'm kind of like a collector. I feel like I just like put a lot of stuff in like the junk drawer of my brain, and then open it one day, and I'm like, that's weird. All these rubber bands got stuck together. So it was like. Growing up, my mom talked a lot about this movie, Picnic at Hanging Rock, which is from the 70s, I want to say, but it's directed by Peter Weir. And it's about it was a novel first, which I still haven't read. Whoops. But it's about these like, actually they did I'll say what it's about first. Like these schoolgirls in Australia who just like walk up the hill one day and never come back. And the imagery, I feel like if you look it up, you'll be like, oh, I've seen that somewhere. There's this like kind of famous shot of these girls in like white dress, like Victorian-ish white dresses. And they're like holding hands linked, and they're just kind of walking sideways up the hill, I guess. And so I've always kind of had that image just like circulating in my brain.
Yeah.
They also did a TV version a few years ago, I think, with Natalie Dormer in it. It's real bad. But I watched all of it and she looks great in it. So,
She always looks great.
And that's what matters. That's so funny.
But yeah, so it was like a combination of that. There's also this photograph I saw by a photographer called Neil Krug. He does a bunch of just kind of almost surreal photos, but they're like really vivid colors that he works with that I found really striking. And there's this one picture called Phantom Stage 1, I think, that has these, again, 4 girls in like kind of weirdly retro clothes in a canyon, and they're all facing away from the camera, like looking up it. And there's like some weird smoke and stuff. It's just very like eerie and atmospheric. And so that was in the junk drawer, so to speak. But also like I've always wanted to do a book that could be described as like a YA Gone Girl, because I think everybody who read Gone Girl was like, I want to do that too one day. So also me. But I feel like the thing that really kind of helped me glue everything together was I was rewatching Pretty Little Liars. Which, and I should say right now, never read the books. Sarah Shepard, you're a queen. I don't know what actually happens in the books.
Are there like 25 of those books too? And didn't she write all of them? Like, I
think she did.
They're not ghostwritten either. Because she usually says it if they're ghostwritten by somebody, but
I think they're
almost 30,
books,
I think.
Like IP wise, but usually with those, it's like you get like a couple and then they move on to someone else. But like, no, that's her baby.
Wow.
But the TV show is not, and you can tell because it doesn't make a lot of sense. Love it so much. It's absolutely bonkers. And I was rewatching it, and there's this like, for anybody listening who does not know what Pretty Little Liars is about, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, it's like some estranged best friends who are pulled back together when they start getting mysterious texts that they think are from their friend who disappeared. And lots of secrets, lots of drama. But I was rewatching the series, and there's this one scene or like sequence, I guess, where one of the girls thinks that maybe she killed her friend, and she's like, they do a long flashback or whatever, and she like picks up a shovel threateningly, and then the big reveal is that like she just put it down and walked away, and like she didn't do it. It's fine.
Boo.
And exactly. I remember thinking like she should have done it. It would have been more interesting to me personally anyway.
Yeah,
definitely.
If she had done it. And I think maybe that's what's going on with all of this stuff that I'm gathering. Like I think my girl did it. And I want to figure out.
So that's why the book itself is actually dedicated to
Spencer Hastings. Love of my life. She wears weird hats in season 1, and I love them all.
That's awesome. That's really funny.
I love this book. It's like that meme. I forget like where it was originally posted. But it's like, yeah, I support women's rights, but I definitely support women's wrongs. It's like this is absolutely the women's wrongs.
I have a shirt that says that. I should have worn it today.
That's okay.
You should have. I'm sorry. I should have warned you.
Yeah, that's okay. We didn't know. We didn't know we would get there today.
I have not seen Pretty Little Liars. Should I? Because I've only seen the spin-off, the original Sin, that was the slasher movie version, because I was like, I was seeing clips and I was like, oh, so they're like just paying homage to all these slasher movies. And I watched it and it was very dumb, but like fun dumb. I liked it. It was
fun dumb. If you like fun dumb, you might like the original series. It will
overstay its welcome.
Well, not even that. It will like it might give you an aneurysm, but like you won't notice while it's happening. You'll just be like, wow, I feel weird. It's wonderful. I forget exactly when it came out, but like I think right at like a freshman in high school. So I was like the person they built it for. So that I can't, there's definitely some bias going on. I can't tell you how it would appear to a fully developed frontal lobe.
Right.
But there's just some like, they really go for it. You know, you're like, that's a story choice that only the boldest would make.
I'm sure it's a little like time stamps too. Like at the time, it was like the height of all the CW and Gossip Girl and like all that stuff, like teen dramas in that way, were like, oh my God, I love them.
And they're all getting text messages on their flip phones.
Yeah.
One of them had like a sidekick, I think. But this was also, it was ABC Family, so it was like the CW shows, but like a little less sexy and like weird appearances of like, oh, those people are going to church. I don't know why.
That's so funny.
There are queer girls.
Love.
And then they kill them off, though, right?
One of them makes it the whole way. Emily makes it the whole way. But she does have a long and serious relationship with a girl who initially tries to drown her, which I love.
Cute. Yeah.
But for ABC Family, very funny.
Very funny. And also not quite the lesson that I want the audience to learn. Right. It feels a little, I don't know. But I guess if you're taking life lessons from Pretty Little Liars, then you have other things.
Yeah, we'll tackle that in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. So Eric, you loved Kill Creatures. What do you, as a reader, what specifically do you love about it? Like, what about it made you feel like?
So I think the way the plot is set up, it's all taking place and there's a now, and then there'll be flashbacks where it goes back to the beginning of the summer, and then you see the journey leading up to the murder, while you're also seeing her kind of trying to figure out how this girl is still alive and everything. And usually that is a pet peeve plot structure for me, because I'm always it's always the now is the most important thing, because it's that's the story, that's what I want to see. But there's so much mystery that even the before chapters are so important. And you're I'm every time I got back to it before, I'm oh, good, there's more. And it doesn't feel like the plot is screeching to a halt to be okay, here's some backstory. It's no, this is the now. And then here's a little tease of something that you should be aware of. And then it goes back to the now. And I think that was done the best. Probably in any book that I've read, because that is definitely one of my biggest pet peeves, because I'm I don't care about the flashback. Just tell me in the context of what's happening now. But you can't do that with this one.
It's that kind of now and then structure is catnip for me. If I see it in a story, I'm ooh, what happened? Tell me more about the night everything went down. But the point you're making about sometimes that can really feel you never it's kind of similar to when a book has multiple points of view, and you don't ever want to have one character be the one that the person is oh my God, them again. And we did a bunch of fine tuning, finessing, and just kind of looking at the balance between the now and then the then storylines to make sure that there was content, which I don't like using content for a book, because that or for anything really, because that sounds okay, this is a YouTube short. But
hell on earth.
To make sure that there was a reason for it being there. And sometimes the reason was just to give Nan, the main character, something a little bit weird to think about later, but that worked for me. So
yeah, I think it worked perfectly.
Thank you.
It never once was I oh, great, it's a before chapter. All right, I'll stop reading for the day.
This is another advantage to writing a really short book.
Yeah.
Even the parts people don't like are over very quickly.
But even I think there's going to be listeners who are hearing all of this right now, and there's going to be some people who are like you, are oh no, I love that structure. That structure's something I look for. And then there's going to be people like me who's oh no, I hate that too. But they're still going to be okay, well, if Eric hates it and still love this book, maybe I'll give it a try. And then there's going to be people listeners I never really thought about it.
I like a good back and forth, because I feel it keeps the pacing going. Weirdly, it's weird to think that flashing back helps with pacing, but it does. It's just then I'm constantly waiting for, okay, what happened before? And then I'm reading. I'm okay, but then what happened now? And then it's and that little catnip, that's exactly what it is. That little, you'll keep me on that little hamster wheel all day long.
It kind of reminds me of Lost, the way their episodes were always structured. And I think that I'm a big fan of Lost. I think anybody who says that it's a terrible show did not understand the ending. And if you are listening, the ending was not that they were dead the whole time. They were only dead in that last season.
Oh.
It was.
Okay, so I
it
didn't
is-
understand the ending.
Yeah, so the whole last season is a flash sideways. That is the afterlife. So
I
like
forgot
they
about
all
Flash
live
Sideways.
exactly.
It's been a long time since I heard
So
that
it looks
term.
like it's an alternate reality that they're in, but it's actually they're in the afterlife and they have no memory of everything that happened and they're slowly learning it. And it's basically the afterlife prepares everybody by taking the people that were the most important in their lives. So it's all these people who are stranded on a weird island and then reintroducing them so they can all move on to the afterlife together. That's what that whole little Flash Sideways was in the last season. But anyway, the one thing I think that Lost does really good is in the end of the third season, the last episode is actually a flash forward. So it plays with your expectations. You have 3 years of the structure being, okay, well, it's always a flashback and then it's on the island, what's happening. And you see the last episode of the third season and it's the twist at the end is it's a flash forward the whole time.
Yeah.
Because everybody's trying to figure out like, okay, well, when did all of this happen? And I think that is when the structure can work really well. And then I think for especially something that's been going on as long as Lost does or was, you need to have a twist at some point where it plays with your expectations. I think they did that perfectly. I just went on a whole tirade about Lost, but that's the point of this podcast is we go on random tirades every once in a while.
Love it.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about Nan is the main character and the murderer, and it's all from her point of view. So one of the things I'm trying to figure out a way to ask this that doesn't kind of steer you anyway, but was there any kind of, were you thinking about trying to make her likable at any point for readers? Like where you're like, okay, well, even though she's a murderer and you know that from chapter 1, I have to at least get you on her side a little bit?
No, I was not thinking about that at all, which
Good.
maybe I should have. But I don't often find, and some of this is just like down to the genre that I write in. Like I write in thriller and horror, and I think the need is maybe the wrong word, but I think it requires less of a like likable or like identification with the main character than a different genre does. Like I think for a romance, it would be much harder to be successful with that if you were working with a character you couldn't like or hope for or root for. I felt like with Kill Creatures, what I needed most of all was just for someone to want to turn the page. And that didn't have to be because they wanted good things for Nan or because they wanted her to get caught. So that kind of freed me from from thinking about that aspect of her character. And I also felt like, I don't remember exactly how many pages, but you find out that she is the murderer on the back cover of the book. And then also like the end of the second chapter. And I wanted it to be this kind of like, when you read that as the reader, you are kind of freed from having to like judge her. You're like, you don't have to judge whether she's guilty or not. She's like, no, I am. Don't worry about it. Like, you don't have to be the jury. You don't have to do any of that. You just have to like go with me. And so I think that kind of lifts the onus off the reader to like her. I think that by the end, you kind of sympathize, maybe not empathize, but like you understand her. Yeah. And I think that maybe has the same kind of function in terms of like getting you closer to her. But I don't expect that people will like her necessarily. I do. I think she's fun. But
I do too. I think
that's like fun. Fun is a good word. That's like what my friends will say about a horror movie that was like bad, but like like indulgent in a way. They'll like my friends will just be like, it was fun, and I'm like, yeah, she's
doing her own thing.
Fun.
I want to say something, but I also don't want to do any spoilers at all because I do think that part of like. Not part of the whole purpose of reading the book is just to like have this whole story finally uncovered for you. And I want to say it, but that's it.
For those who cannot see, which is everyone, Eric is just doing like lots of thumbs up, like very enthusiastic.
Usually when I do it, there's like fireworks that pop up behind me, but I guess we have those features turned off along with our enhanced features. So.
Right. I always feel like writing a character that is unlikable feels, in some ways it feels harder and in some ways it feels easier, because like my biggest example of this is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because that is a TV show that has literally not a single likable character.
The worst human being on the planet.
The worst. But
also,
like,
great
people
representation of Philadelphians, by the way. Like, perfect. It is absolutely perfect.
Like,
I think
accurate.
90% of Philadelphia is Frank, Danny DeVito's character.
God.
Oh boy.
Horrible. But people love that show, and like you end up having this sort of like relationship with them anyway. Was building a relationship between the reader and Nan still important, even though you were not super worried about like the likability there?
Yeah, definitely. I think what's funny about Always Sunny too is like, I think if you tell the reader like everybody's bad, they can kind of like, or viewer, they can kind of like readjust the bar and be like, okay, but this one's the least bad.
Yeah.
So that was kind of
It's usually sweet tea.
Yeah, usually.
But sometimes not.
But sometimes not.
You know, a little variety. But yeah, so Nan has 3 friends. They're Luce, Edie, and Jane. You see Luce. Luce is the one who like shows back up mysteriously. But you see Edie and Jane in the flashbacks, and it's not, they're not all as bad as anyone on Always Sunny, but I liked getting to show them in a group because it kind of like performed that same function of like, okay, Nan did kill them, yes, but they're not like always super, super nice because they're teenage girls and like, that's how it is. So there was some of that, but also I didn't want the ending. I didn't want the reader to get to the end of the book and be rooting for Nan to get caught. I wanted, like, if you are, that's okay, but I want you to also have like a little bit of something extra thrown in that I won't specify just for fear of spoilers. But yeah, I wanted it to be a mix of things. I love an ending that is a little bit open, a little bit ambiguous. I think that you get that with this. So I needed to make sure that there was like a good through line to pull you all the way there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm telling you, Alyssa, you're going to love it.
I'm really excited, and I already have the tab open to buy it. So
perfect.
What does every USAA member have in common? Family. We're one big family who supports the military community and their eligible families. And if you, your parent, or spouse served, you could join our family and save big on auto insurance. Visit USAA.com/join today to check your eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
How do you top your love for your cat? With a cascade of decadent savory gravy over a mouth-watering mousse pâté. Fancy Feast Gems. 2 gourmet pâtés in one convenient pack. Simply peel and plate to reveal a pyramid shape that makes eating delightful and pamper her with an experience as extraordinary as she is. Turn the everyday into the extraordinary with Fancy Feast Gems.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there's one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
Introducing the Internet Supreme Court,
a live stream show that casts judgment on anything the internet touches, from memes to billionaires.
We served Elon Musk with a court summons.
He still hasn't responded.
Because he's a coward.
Join us every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
We're on Twitch and YouTube Live. Find out more at InternetSupremeCourt.com.
That's InternetSupremeCourt.com. We're also on Instagram and Blue Sky.
Hear that, Elon? Blue Sky.
I want to talk about the setting too. Like, I want to know how you kind of created, because the setting is very important. Like it is, there's even like a little map in the beginning that shows you how the town is, kind of the layout of the town. But I want to know, why did you set it in like a Utah kind of desert canyon kind of town, like also resort town? And how did you kind of come up with it? Why did you do it? And is it based on anything, or is it like something that you have totally created?
Yeah, so I'm from New England. I grew up in Massachusetts, so I'm very unfamiliar with a canyon, like red rock landscape. So I've always I keep like a little list of just like interesting locales or specific spots that I think would be cool to like work into a book somehow. And I just had canyon. Weird, cool on my list.
It's perfect.
And that's right. That's exactly what it is.
Exactly. And I was trying to figure out like, okay, but that's very broad. And the only canyon I know about is the Grand Canyon. And I'm not sure that I want to write a book set there. So like, let me figure out what's going on with the world with these. And so I just Googled like weird canyon facts, I think.
Weird canyon facts.
But I ended up learning
one.
Well, okay. Yeah. In the there's these things called unconformities in canyons where like, you know how there's like all the layers in the rock, and you can, you should be able to read the layers in the rock like a calendar. So like, okay, these are the oldest ones. These are the newest ones, and they should go pretty sequentially. But unconformities are these spots in the rock where like layers disappear, or they like appear to have vanished, and they're like time missing from the geological record, which is super weird, not supposed to happen. What happens is like layers will squish together and like push the ones caught between them off to the side. And so they'll usually appear in the pattern, but just like weirdly or like kind of vertically. But there's a really big one in the Grand Canyon. And for a long time, people just like, we didn't have the zoom out tools essentially to see where the missing layers had ended up. So for a while, people were like, the Grand Canyon is proof of time travel. Like, what is happening? And
that's hilarious.
Like, they're not missing. They're like a few miles to the right. But
right.
Like, I was learning about that. I was like, that's super weird. And if you're like in, I don't know, 1890 and you're looking at the rock wall, yeah, maybe you do think like, oh my God, there's
no time here. There's a hole in the timeline.
And also the red rocks it looks like you're driving through Mars. Like it looks like a different planet.
It's super weird. Crazy. Yeah, that kind of landscape has this kind of like eerie surrealness to it to me, which really fit with the atmosphere that I was going for. But in the research I found, I learned about Lake Powell, which is like mostly, I think, in Arizona, but it does cross up into Utah. And Lake Powell is a man-made lake. It was created by damming the Colorado River in parts. And when they did that in, I think, the 60s, it had the effect of flooding a nearby canyon called Glen Canyon. And it like just completely filled to the brim, disappeared. And so this whole like little ecosystem completely vanished. Lately, the Colorado River is drying up a little bit. So Lake Powell, the water levels are going down. So Glen Canyon is kind of like reemerging. And I was reading about that and like seeing these photos of like places that people haven't been to since the 60s, the 70s, just like reawakening in a way. Like a lot of the flora and fauna are coming back. It's like really cool. And also like there's a lot of people like left their initials on the walls and stuff in the 60s and 70s, and now those are back above the waterline. And that was just like so evocative to me. I mean, it really worked with the idea of like, oops, a girl has come back that we really didn't think was going to happen. So it made a lot of thematic sense. And I also got to read about, there's like marina towns around Lake Powell. One's called Tickaboo, which is just like a great word. Another one's called Bullfrog, just incredible town names. And I didn't use one of those exactly because it's just always easier when you can make up a fake town and put everything where you want it to be.
Yes.
But I basically made my own version of a little marina town that like gets a lot of, well, not as many as it would like, but gets summer tourists, people who are around on houseboats and stuff, but then kind of dries up in the winter. And I did name, there's a restaurant in the town that I named Bullfrogs as a little homage to the actual bullfrog.
I love that.
I love that they put the map in.
Yeah, I know. I always like, did they like tell you when they were going to do it, or is it like one of the things where they send you like past pages like, by the way, there's a map now?
They told me, and I was like, I mean, I was like, I love a map. I'm down. I don't know that we really need one. They were like, no, we don't really, but we have extra pages, so
it's nice.
Like, okay.
They're like, listen, we gotta pad this. It's only 55,000 words. We're making
This is what I'm saying.
2 pages on a map.
We can't make it any bigger. We need to put it in the front.
We had to
they
add a
probably should have
map.
just kept it as 200 pages because I think there would be like a lot of kids who are like, oh, cool, this book's
Little
so
book.
short. I'm gonna read this. And like,
I do
I
get
mean, there'll
it,
probably
like-
still be plenty that do that, but why make it longer?
I get that they're like, to charge $20. We should
No,
probably make it look
I
a little
guess
bit
that's
longer.
true.
But
Yeah.
I just love like a slim little hardback or paperback, but they're so like cool to me.
Especially the cover for this is amazing too.
They did such a good job. They get it.
Yeah, it's like that's one of the ones that you definitely like want to frame and put up somewhere because it's like, oh, that's a great one. And then they did you have another book called Burn Our Bodies Down. Did the same cover artist do the paperback cover for that?
Yeah.
'Cause I was gonna say they changed the cover for the paperback recently and it looked great. I mean, the first cover was great
I
too.
loved
I
the
love
first
the first
one.
cover.
The first one was this more kind of like orangey, like it's very corn heavy, which I love because that book on all of my file names for that book are just like corn book version 1, corn book version 2. So like I think it was perfect. But yeah, they had the same artist who did the Kill Creatures cover do like a repackage for the Burn Our Bodies Down paperback, just to kind of like make everything match a little bit.
Yeah.
And also Burn Our Bodies Down came out in 2020. So I think they were a little bit like, hey, we know she disappeared for 5 years, but like she has other books. Also, look at this one.
Also, look at this one.
It's
It's
just a refresh.
it makes it sort of like the same Rory Power cinematic universe.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the cover of Wilder Girls is amazing too. So
It's
that's-
so funny. They sent me a link to that artist's Instagram and they were like, what do you think? Like, would this work? And I had been following him already for like 3 or 4 years, I think at that point. And so I opened it and was like, are you kidding? Yes, I'm obsessed with him. Please, can we do this? And then it worked out so perfectly. It
It
just
looks
really
like,
hit the nail on the head.
Is this the same artist who did there's another book, it's like it's like a haunting of
House of
something.
Hollow?
Maybe.
I know he's done a bunch now. I know he's done House of Hollow.
I'll see if I can find it because it looks very like the art style looks very similar, and I wonder if it's the same. And it gives like eerie, but like the way that Wilder Girls has the flowers kind of all in it and the colors and having it be sort of sketchy. It gives like dark academia gardeny vibes in a way, which makes sense.
That's appropriate.
That's exactly kind of the vibe.
His name is Aykut Edogdu. He's a Turkish illustrator. He's really wonderful. So if anybody listening hasn't seen his work, definitely check it out. Yeah, he's done a bunch of books now. It's really cool.
That is a very
I
cool
do want to talk about Wilder Girls before we let you go. But
Yeah.
before we do, what about the title for Kill Creatures? How did you come up with it? I mean, I know it makes sense, but it's not
Yeah.
like it's not a logical sense
No,
where like right away you're like, oh, that's the title. Perfect. But then when you hear what the book is about, you go, oh, that's the title. That's perfect.
It was actually, I had the screenshot of this somewhere, but it's long gone now. I was reading just an article about something and I misread a phrase in a sentence that I don't even remember what it was originally, but I misread it as like so-and-so, a kill creature. And I was like, that, first of all, love a little bit of a grammatically incorrect fragment. Love that for me. But like, what is that? Is that a term? Are we saying that? And no, because I had misread it. That wasn't what it said. But I wrote down kill creature and then in parentheses, as at the end. And I just kind of had it like rattling around. And it's one of those titles where I was like, I know this is the title for a book that I'm going to write, but I don't know what one yet. And so I would kind of like stick it on, I think for a while, for like all of 2021 or 2022, every new idea I sent to my agents was called Kill Creatures. I was like, maybe this is the one, because I just wanted to use it. I just like the sound of it, like the not alliteration. What's the consonant version of it?
Yeah, what is that?
Oh,
I know it's something. But...
It's not assonance. Well, anyway, the two percussive sounds I really liked. And then it worked for this one. So I think it was just biding its time.
It's perfect. I love it.
The book I was thinking of, by the way, is called She Is a Haunting. And it's
yeah.
I don't think it's him, but it like kind of reminded me of it.
I don't know if it's him. I would have to...
Similar creepy, like...
That's a great book. So yeah.
Ooky vibes.
Oh, yeah.
It gives the same like vibe. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you.
What's your writing process usually like? Because I'm curious especially with this, the way the plot structure is, where it's like the before and after. I feel like you have to have a whole outline to understand exactly what is going on. So are you a plotter or a pantser? And then like, what is your writing process like when you're doing thrillers?
It's a mess. Like it is. I am not an outliner at all. I wish that I could, but what I've discovered and what I have like reluctantly come to accept about myself is that if I write the outline, it like pings this little switch in my brain. It's like, oh, I'm done with the book. Yay. Like, I don't have to write it anymore.
Yeah.
Yay.
Because you're not telling yourself the story anymore because you already know it and it's boring.
Like, okay, but I'm not going to get paid for that. So I really do need to like write the whole thing.
We need to lock in.
So it's honestly just like self-preservation in the sense that it keeps me interested in the book. It keeps me from getting bored. It keeps me like actively engaged. So I can't plan more than like a beginning image, almost a like general sense of the ending, like usually almost like photographs in a sense. Like I'll see a photograph of the beginning and a photograph of the end that I think are right. And then like one sense of the middle, like
it's kind of like storyboards, like when people are playing a movie and they do storyboards. I feel like that's what your brain is doing, which is cool.
Just like very spaced out, and we'll see what happens. And usually like by the time I get to the end, it's like, okay, let me like reverse outline almost and actually figure out what I have here.
Reverse outline is so interesting because like that's always the thing. So I always get like very anxious about people who are, I'm not a writer. So like people who are pantsers, I'm like, how are you like keeping track of everything? Reverse outline afterwards.
Yeah. Just kind of checking in with everything I have. I also make a ton of like notes in the margins to myself as I go. That's like, okay, I don't like this, or like on my next pass, add in something about that, or like, I'm not sure that this lines up with what I said earlier. Yeah. Maybe. So
I've been starting to think about doing things like that. I've been like, as I'm writing things, I think about just putting in comments. Because like when you're working with an editor, they usually are the first one to put comments in. And then I'll like reply to them, or I'll put new comments. So I'm like, what do you think of this kind of thing? If I add something new, I'm like, why don't I just do that from the beginning? It's like, it's going to be there anyway. And my editor prints everything out so that the comments are still there too. So
by hand, damn.
Yeah, she does it by hand and then goes in and does everything afterwards.
Wow. Yeah. Could not be me. I usually, when I send it to my editor, I try to make sure all the comments are gone, just to like not.
I'm gonna keep mine in there.
I used to have them in there and be like, I don't like this part. or like, oh, I think I could do this better. And then I realized like, I think I was doing that to like, so that she wouldn't think that I was like, that I thought that was good, or that maybe she would be nicer in her reply to me because I'd already said they were bad. And it's like, no, she's just going to say what she thinks anyway. So like, why don't I just take the comments out? But also, especially for a book like this, I didn't want anything I had in my comments or like anything in my draft to like give her a sense of what might come after, just because I think the cold read for that, especially for that first draft that she read, was so important to like see if it was actually working. And it wasn't. We had to fix it. But that is very typical of me. I'm a big rewriter, which again is a thing that I think that's just how it is. I wish it weren't, but
I think it's just there's some writers can write like a first draft and it is perfect. Some writers write a first draft and then throw it away and then rewrite the entire thing.
Crazy work.
I am also like you, where I'm like, okay, well, here's a 75,000 word book. Here, I'm giving this to you, editor. And then it comes back and it's like, okay, great. So I'll just throw that away and rewrite half of it. I'll just take out huge swatches of it. And, oh, here's a whole document of deleted scenes and chapters and sentences. And it's 100,000 words. That's great. And then the new book is now 100,000 words. So I've now written 100,000 words and only 100 is getting published. Cool.
I try to think of it as like for my first draft and probably for my second and third, it's like just putting everything on the table. And then once I've done that, I can go like get a plate at the buffet. But I just have to like put everything there first and be like, okay, what am I doing with all of this shit?
Yeah.
It's not efficient. It's really, really not. And I wish that it weren't.
But it gets the
what
job
I have to
done.
do.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I get bored and I can do it.
Art and efficiency can't. They're not the same conversation. You know?
That's true.
They have to live in different universes completely.
And now we can talk about Wilder Girls, because I loved that book as well, which, Alyssa, if you've not read that one.
I just downloaded the audiobook, like literally just now.
It's so good. Honestly, I feel like it was like, it's what Yellow Jackets wishes it was. Because
big word.
Like the first season,
big word.
The first season of Yellow Jackets is great. And it gave me that like Wilder Girls feel. But then I know it's kind of gone downhill. I have not even finished it. I've kind of just fell off.
It's also kind of got not exactly the same, but it's also kind of got that like then and now structure with the girls as teenagers and then the girls as adults. And I get why the adults are there. And I think without them, it's a totally different show. And so like, no, I don't want it to be a different show. I want it to be what it is. So it has to keep the adults, but also every time I watch an episode, I'm like, I don't care about them. I just want to watch the girls in the woods, which makes complete sense given what I have written about before. So, fair enough for them.
With Wilder Girls, I remember like I was reading it and I just like it's body horror, but it didn't feel like really gross, horrific body horror, because there's like some parts of it. It's like, yeah, sure, one of them, like their eye, like the skin grows over the one of their eyes, so like they can't see anymore, or like the person with the spine and everything. But there's still like this weird kind of beauty with it too, that I thought was really cool. And then it's just, I think I have not read it since it came out, but I've been thinking recently that I probably should reread it, because I feel like it's only gotten more timely, because basically these girls are just kind of quarantined and tossed off, and they're like, okay, we're gonna work and try and figure out a way to help you guys, and the government just isn't doing anything. And it's like, that makes sense. They wouldn't. Why would they? They have no reason. So
yeah, it's actually been funny. I forget why this came up the other day, but someone was like, why did you make the CDC the villain? Like the CDC, we love the CDC. Like we're upset now that it's being cut. And I was like, no, I know. Like you have to understand. I wrote this in 2018.
Right.
When we didn't, like, most people didn't know what the CDC was.
Yeah.
And also that's just who would be in charge. Like it just is. So they're not the villain in the real world. Love the CDC.
Love the CDC.
Love you guys. Go Queen.
Shout out CDC. That's really
It's just
funny.
one of those weird things where it's like, guys, it's a book. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, and it's so interesting because Wilder Girls has like the talks that like hits the screen. So it's interesting that you wrote that in 2018, and Eric had a similar thing where he wrote All That's Left? Was that which one?
Which
Okay.
we used Wilder Girls as the comp to sell too, by the way. So thank you. You're the reason I have a career.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Oh, can you imagine if I was serious like that? You're welcome, Eric.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
But it's interesting to write those books and then have like a literal global pandemic right at the heels of them. It's like, are you guys predicting things? Are you telling us the future? If so, I would love a read on the situation. Very
it's just like
times.
It's the Octavia Butler thing where everyone's like, "Oh, she saw the future." And it's like, no, she saw what was actually happening.
Oh, for me, I saw an X-Files episode. Like,
so an episode from the 90s, and it's still valid today,
right? Like, I we weren't using the word quarantine when I wrote it very much. Like, just it's not my fault.
Yeah, well, it was like it's such like a kind of it is like a sci-fi storyline to have like a pandemic like that, and then it suddenly was not, and it was very real, and
that's what the people who are then experiencing it can go out and get these books and be like, all right, well, this is now a safe place to kind of explore these themes and some even emotions that I might be having and figure out how to deal with that. I think there's some people who are like, oh, I don't want to read anything like that because I've already lived it. And then there's other people who are like, oh no, because I've lived it, I would like to now read like a heightened version of it.
I mean, I don't know when exactly this was, but like in March of 2020, there was a while where like that movie Contagion was the top movie on Netflix for like a long time. I was like, you know what? Fair enough. I watched it too.
And if you're going to watch one, that is a good choice because
is that Steven Soderbergh or am I making that up? Yeah.
It is Steven Soderbergh. So it is a realistic portrayal of what would happen if there was something like that. And it was based in a lot of research, and they dealt with all the people who actually do the CDC. I'm not sure if they still do this, but if there is an outbreak of something somewhere, they will send people to go and like investigate and find out where it came from, who has been in contact with these people, and they like I forget what. So this might be TMI. Sorry, but I got sick one day. I was in another country, and I got a parasite. Ugh. I was sick for about a month, and I finally went to the doctor, and I was like, hey, this isn't going the way I thought it would. And they were like, oh, yeah, you have a parasite.
Oh, my God. That's my nightmare.
I got my anti-parasitic medication. It was one dose. It was great. $80, but that was after my insurance. And then I got a phone call from the CDC who's like, hey, you got a parasite. Where the hell did that come from? I was like, oh, I was in Europe. And they're like, oh, never mind. Cool. You're good. Go ahead.
Got it. No problem.
You took your antiparasitic? Okay, good. All right. Just making sure we don't have to find somebody else.
Did you? Okay, not to be graphic, and like don't be graphic in your reply, but did you see when it came out of your body?
That's such a good question.
No, it wasn't like a tapeworm. It was like a microscopic one. It was
disappointing.
Like it was
no, that would
it's the same thing as like Giardia, which people can get from like river water and stuff, but it's like it's in the same kind of family. It's like cryptozoa or something. It was just from probably a vegetable was not washed properly and it didn't die when it was cooked, and that was it.
Okay, I'm upset about that because I don't eat meat. I eat some fish, and part of it is because I'm so scared and like icked out by those things. So if it's also in the vegetables,
goldfish crackers, that's all we can do.
Literally, that's all we have. Goldfish crackers.
The water they were using to water the vegetables or whatever. I don't know. Who knows where it came from, but it was somewhere in Spain. At the time, I also belonged to a rowing gym. I was the skinniest I ever was.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure.
It was not healthy.
Yeah, but you looked great.
Looked great. Had a little bit more hair, not much, but a little bit, you know.
Whatever.
Moving on from parasites, though.
If we must.
I probably shouldn't have even brought it up because now everyone's just going to be thinking about parasites.
I have so many like food icks that I'm going to be crashing out about this all day.
It's going to be okay.
It will. I'll get over it. Whatever.
See, that's your next book, Rory. It's about parasites. What is your next book? Are you allowed to tell us, or?
I can certainly tell you because I had no idea what it is. No, I'm working on something right now, but it's an adult project, and it's also like nobody is waiting for it. Like it's just a thing that I'm doing because I want to. But I do have another young adult book on my contract. And luckily by now my editor, both my US editor and my UK editor, they know me well enough that they're like, it will make it worse if we ask.
Yeah.
If we ask, she will give us a draft, but it will be garbage. So they're just like,
it'll get here when it gets here.
They're living their lives, and I can like feel, when you can just like kind of feel the itch of like there's something, but I don't know what it is yet. And I think if I look directly at it, it's not ready yet. So right now I'm just doing other things and like putting more stuff in that junk drawer, and hopefully something will happen. But yeah, I'm not like Jen Dugan. Maybe she talked about her millions of spreadsheets and like all her ideas, and she just has so many. And like I get one idea every like 2.5 years, maybe.
Yes.
So.
And yes, she did talk about that. And then also, of course, all of the books that she has under contract and that are coming out.
And then she's always so worried. She's like, oh my God, I don't have anything coming up. And I'm like, Jen, I'll kill you.
She's a machine.
You have dozens.
And then on top of that, children, like what the hell, man?
Like, I have one cat. And yes, granted, she is... Oh God, she's looking at me right now. It's the most
like,
terrifying expression.
Go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
But so like, yes, I do have to live with a little serial killer, but she only needs feeding 3 times a day. Like, she doesn't need to go to soccer practice.
Very different vibes. She goes soccer practice.
I mean, maybe she does. Maybe that's why she's upset, because she's not getting
She's been missing soccer practice every weekend of her life.
Her attendance record is so bad. Scallion, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Before we let you go, what are you reading right now?
I'm reading, actually, it's right here, which is good because I forgot what it's called. I'm reading Mr. Fox by Helen Oyemi. I've read The Icarus Girl by her, but I haven't read this one. And I was at Heartleaf Books, which is an indie in Providence, where I live. And I just walked in and was like, give me something weird. And they gave me this one. So
I love it.
Let's see what it is.
That's the best part of going to basically a store or library that has books instead of buying it online, because it's still Prime Day while we're recording this. And you know what? Fuck Prime Day. Amazon doesn't need to sponsor this podcast, because I think everybody should go into bookstores and just walk up to a bookseller and be like, give me something fucked up.
Yeah.
Because you can find a bookseller who's like, I have something.
Exactly.
Yes.
Always.
They're always so excited to give you like the recommendation that you're looking for.
And they'll give you like 3 or 4 options. So even if one isn't good for you.
Yeah.
That's also great for if you're getting gifts for people. If you're like, oh, I want to buy a book for like my nephew who I know likes these XYZ, but I don't know a book that is like that.
Save yourself from like the wire cutter and strategist gift lists online.
Oh,
just ask a bookseller.
Ask a bookseller. They'll be so happy to tell you. They'll be thrilled.
Even a librarian. Get them for free too. Go to a library. See?
Look at that.
All right. Rory, it was great talking with you about Field Creatures. Whenever we're done this and we're waiting for all of our files to upload, I'm also going to say more things about it that were slightly spoilery. But I can't wait to have you back on when your next book comes out as well.
Whenever that may be.
2.5 years from now. And that's fine.
Fine. Perfect.
And that's fine. We'll be here.
We'll book it.
I think everybody moving a little slower would be better.
I agree.
Just calm down.
I've never agreed more. Moving slower is all I need in this life.
And if you're worried,
Rory.
will always be moving slower than you. So like, don't even worry about it. You won't be the slowest.
There'll always be Rory Power right down.
Just in last. Just trucking along.
Chugging along. I love it. Oh my God.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This is so lovely.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming on.
When she asks me how far we can take it, I tell her we can take it across the entire universe. You are my universe, not just a planet.
No, that was great. Alyssa, what are you reading? You said you're still in the reading slump. So.
I'm still in my reading slump. I'm reading Rouge still. And I haven't been like listening to audiobooks very much. I've been very like chronically online recently, which is so bad for my brain. So I just downloaded the Wilder Girls audiobook. So I'm going to start that today while like going about my work day after meetings and stuff. And I'm really excited about it, but I'm still reading Rouge and it's really good. I'm just like a little stuck in my doom scrolling vibe right now. It's not very good.
Well, I think Wilder Girls or Killer Creatures will get you out.
Okay. I hope so. What are you reading right now?
I am reading Julia's Song is Undateable by Susan Lee.
Ooh.
Susan is actually, this book comes out in October, but I got an early copy because I'm friends with Susan. She was just in Philly for the American Library Association. Met her for dinner, and she gave me this book in payment for shipping her back all of the advanced reader copies that she got from the American Library Association while she was there.
Love it.
But it is actually Susan's adult debut. So she has 3 YAs out that are all rom-coms. They're so funny. They're so sweet. They're so much fun. This one is the adult. So I think there's going to be a little extra spice, which I'm excited about.
Love some spice.
And it's this girl, Julia Song, who is the CEO of a cosmetic company. And she's 30 years old, single, and her family is trying to like find her a husband. And so then I don't want to spoil too much, but there's another character, and he has kind of known her, and then he's kind of her dating coach, but he's had a crush on her since they were children.
Oh, that's really cute. That's a sweet story.
Yeah, there's going to be longing, and I'm sure that they're probably not going to end up together. That can't possibly happen.
Definitely not. That would be a crazy twist of events if they did.
Right? I mean, so
wow.
I don't know how it's going to end.
I don't know how it's going to end. That's so funny. Well, let us know what you're reading. Go to YAOK Podcast on Instagram and let us know, what you're reading. And do we have any other things that are announcements?
Oh, I think what is it? Rage Against the Machine and Warner Brothers has not decided to sue us.
They didn't?
And so our shirt is back on the market.
Ooh, okay.
With a new redesign.
I've been scared to like wear it or post, like not wear it, but like post it because I'm
Still
like,
never got mine. I think the lawyers like intercepted the mail and took it because I never even got my original shirt.
In the mail. Warner Brothers is in the mail. That's crazy. I have mine. I just am scared to wear it on like social media. So now I can wear it. This is so exciting.
Oh, you have to wear the new redesign. You can't wear the old one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You can only wear the old one out in public.
And that's fine. And I will. And I have. What are you going to do?
The links are on our socials, which is YAOK Podcast on Instagram.
Yeah.
Come tell us what you're reading. Buy our shirt and hope that we don't get sued by Rage Against the Machine.
Insane.
Didn't know we were the machine, but okay.
I guess we are. I don't know. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.